Hey everyone, welcome to part 2 of my Let's Play for Tales of Maj'Eyal, also known as ToME. This is Sippycup, and so this is the character that I started in the last episode, Sippychalice, the Dwarven Berserker. Naturally, my first character would be a dwarf, given my background, and so let's get going here. Last episode, not a whole lot happened, except that I died once. You do get multiple lives in the adventure difficulty. Since people actually asked me to do permadeath, what I'm gonna do is just start over. This character, I barely played that long at all, so it's not much of a big deal to start over. So I'll just start a new character, delete the old one, and let's see, let's make a new game. And we'll do this one on roguelike difficulty so that there will be a bit more intensity. So here we'll go Berserker. Permadeath is now on roguelike since everyone asked for it. Difficulty, we are going to play on normal. I'm going to continue to be a male dwarf because they are the best. And this guy will be Sippychalice II, Esquire. Alright. So for the starting stat distribution, I'm probably going to do something similar to what I did before. I am going to still try to max out Stunning Blow first. It looks like I need Strength 16. That's base strength and I think modified strength. I'm not sure what's giving me the +4 exactly, but in theory if I pump this one more time... Oh no, I need to be level 2 to put more into Stunning Blow, that's right. Okay, so we'll leave that alone, and then I'm going to put more of an emphasis, I think, on stamina in this playthrough compared to strength, because usually if I die it's not because I'm not killing something fast enough, it's because I take too much spike damage from a caster. So compared to other berserkers I've tried to build, I'm going to try to focus this one a little bit more on the defense side, just to be safe, especially since we're doing permadeath. So for the other 2 points I'm going to put it into Vit, or I guess is Constitution, not Vitality. So that'll be that. I still have a class point to distribute somewhere. I do not need Death Dance higher than 1, although I will be putting points into Berserker later. So for now, Rush is really good. So the thing about Rush, it's good for closing the gap on spellcasters. If you have a distance that you have to traverse, this will allow you to rush, what is a range? 6 squares, and that range goes up for successive levels. So normally if you are facing a spellcaster, they can just stand there and free cast on you while you approach them. Otherwise, if you rush, you can get into melee range instantly if you're close enough, and then you can follow up with a stunning blow or something to keep them kind of locked down. So we're going to go with that. These passives are actually quite good, but I'll start putting points in those later once I max out some of the essentials like stunning blow. And I still have a generic point, so I think last time I put into weapons mastery, so I don't really need it at level 2 just yet because that will let me wear shields. Although at 3 I will be able to wear massive plate, and that is going to require strength 26. So it looks like I won't be able to get that. The earliest I'll be able to get that is level 3 because I've got to level up twice more to get my strength up that high. But we'll put it in armor for now to get that defense. Okay. So I'm not going to show you all of these. Hopefully by now you've downloaded the game and you can mess around with this too. So I'm going to try to make this more of a let's play and less of a tutorial, but if I see something interesting along the way I'll try to explain it the best I can. There's a lot of game systems that I'm still trying to figure out myself. Alright, so let's go. So mix up these changes. So here I'm actually going to read the flavor text this time since I'm doing this as an LP. So, welcome Sippychalice II, Esquire. You are a member of the proud but secretive race of the dwarves. Hailing from the Dwarven Empire of the Iron Throne, you have been sent to investigate the old fortress of Reknor, which has been overrun by orcs. Upon arriving, most of your team got killed, and now you must crawl back to the Iron Council and report what you saw there. Only you and Norgan, the dude I let die before, a fellow dwarf berserker, have survived, but the orcs will not let you go easily. You have sworn that once you reach the Iron Council safely, you will take on a life of adventurer, looking for fame and treasures of old, away from all those orcs. Alright, let's go. So, battle is joined. Looks like we're thrust into things right away. We'll try. Oops, I thought that I was the other guy. Kill that thing. Alright, so I'm not going to auto-explore at first while I have this guy in my party, because, you know what, I'm going to actually turn down the sound a little bit here. Sound effects volume, we'll put this down to like 5. Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not going to auto-explore because for this escort quest and for any escort quest, auto-exploring is really just an invitation to get your charge killed. I'm going to pick up items to sell them. Other than that, I'm just going to be running around trying to find the way down. Now I have a cute hat. Oops. Let's see, Iron Greatsword. Is this one better than what I have? 10.5, 16. No, it's about a little bit worse. So I feel like the light radius in this game is lower than other roguelikes I've played by default. There are ways that you can expand your light radius, both by getting new lanterns and some equipment modifies it. You'll have like shining armor and things like that. But it does make for some surprises as far as running into things that you're not expecting to see. You do have this concept of infravision too, which is being able to see things in low light, and effectively that lets you see things in the fog of war. Just units though that are outside of your immediate light range, but still you can kind of see their body heat or something. I think is the kind of physics behind infravision. Now this guy's just not taking any damage. Also, I apologize for my voice, I'm a little congested, so if I sound weird, that's probably why. This gives me willpower and mental save. I have nothing better to wear, so I might as well put it on. Alright. You know what, I lied. I am going to start auto-exploring, because, oh, pressing all these buttons is hard work. Yeah, this guy, you know, he usually doesn't die, even if you auto-explore. He follows you around, that's how his AI behavior is set. Last time, I think he just died because he got surrounded by a couple of the big orcs. And I didn't really do a lot to help him. But he can carry his own weight, most of the time. I forgot to mention, this is kind of self-explanatory, I think, but there is a mini-map up here. One thing that's not immediately apparent is that you can do a couple of things. You can move the mouse, if you unlock the user interface, you can move this around. Most of the UI elements are movable in some form or another. Just keep that there. We'll relock that. I'm not going to mess around with resizing the UI or anything too much, but if you wanted to move that, that's how you can do it. You can also press Tab to get a bigger map. Now, this... Whoa. What did I do? Oh, okay. I somehow was able to move my view around one of the other buttons I pushed. But yeah, the map is kind of, you know, it's blocky. It's not super useful. Plus, if you're using auto-explore, having a map is kind of superfluous because it's going to discover all of the interesting things for you, for the most part. Okay, anytime I run into an orc, I'm going to try to use Stunning Blow because they do hurt quite a bit if you're not careful. Well, I could just beat him down. Dagger. I'm not going to pick up the white quality objects, I think. they don't sell for a lot, and they just... Items have an encumbrance, which you can see. This is basically their weight. So I have got my current and maximum encumbrance up here. So, you know, if I exceed my maximum encumbrance, which is currently 76, then I won't be able to move. If you played Skyrim, that should be familiar to you. Or any of the Elder Scrolls games, for that matter. I think they all had a similar system. I guess Dwarf Fortress could probably benefit from a system such as that. It's kind of weird to have dwarves running around with 18,000 pairs of socks, 25 cloaks, and such and such. It's a little unrealistic, but then that game has never really been known for its realism. Alright, so on going down a level, I leveled up. Okay, so I get one generic point. I've already put one into armor. I need to pump my strength up to 26 to get massive plate armor, which is what I want to rush for. So I'm just going to dump all these points into strength for right now. I want to get this heavy armor as soon as possible. In the meantime, let's look at what I can do that will help me live. Putting points into the passive doesn't really make a lot of sense. I mean, it kind of does, but I like to take a look at the kind of the utility you get. What is the benefit that you get for each point spent? And in this case, you can see that the only thing that changes when you put points into this passive is that it reduces the cooldown. The cooldown is kind of long. I would rather spend points on something that have a permanent effect on my character that's always active, or that has a bigger payoff per point invested. So if this reduced the cooldown and also increased the magnitude of the benefit that I got as far as the armor, spell, and physical saves, then I might consider it. But I think for now I'm probably just going to leave this low. I may reconsider that later. So now I basically have a choice between increasing my physical weapon power or getting some points and things that are going to keep me alive. And I think in the interest of staying alive, I'm going to take this point in vitality. What this does is it's going to make me recover faster from poisons, diseases, and wounds, which is going to reduce the duration that those things have on me by the listed percentage. At first it's going to be 13%, and it's going to go up later. And in addition, you gain a pretty substantial amount of life regen and a healing modifier for that number of turns when your life drops below 50%. So what this is going to mean is that I'm automatically going to get a heal over time when my life drops below 50%, but then I'm also going to have all healing done to me increased by that percentage, so 6% at first. So if I have any infusions or items or anything I can use or skills that are going to heal me, it's going to boost the amount that those heal me for. So this is going to have some good synergy with Bloodthirst down here later on, when I'm going to be getting life regen from crits and things like that. So I'm probably going to try to focus on this one too. Let's see, I have a class point that I need to spend, so we'll put it in Stunning Blow, and that should be all my points. Alright, so here I'm surrounded, but it's just kind of shrimpy monsters, so we'll do some whirlwinds. I'll throw out a Stunning Blow, I'll pop my cooldown just because I can, and I'll kill all that stuff. Oh, there's a downstairs right there. Let's see. Let me know if you just want me to turn the sound effects off completely, if it's annoying. Otherwise, I will leave them on so you can feel every impact of the breathtaking combat. Whoa, blind. Back off until I'm not blind. Okay. Charge him. Stun him. Picking up gems. I think I'm being dumb again, just spamming my auto attack when I could be using stronger abilities and heals. This guy's tough. Why is he so tough? Orc soldier. Man, guy's a jerk. So yeah, I think my vitality ability kicked in earlier, so I got that extra health regen. Let's see, I get some gloves here. Got to start equipping some of this armor. Ooh, bonus to accuracy, physical and mental saves. So a note on the concept of a save. This is a concept that some pen and paper RPGs use. I've never played Dungeons and Dragons, but I know enough about its systems to give a sort of rudimentary explanation of what is meant by a save. In that game, there are times when a check is performed against a certain stat. So, you know, if you want to, say, pass by a trap without triggering it, it would there would be a check to see whether you do, you know, maybe against your agility or something. So what that means is that you have a certain value of agility and the trap has a certain difficulty or rating. And basically the difference between those is going to determine what you need to roll on a dice to pass the check and pass by the trap unscathed. So in the context of this game, you know, you have this idea of saves, which if I bring up my character sheet, I'll try to show you here under defense. Let's see. This, I believe, is my... oh, here's my saves. So, it increases the chance to shrug off physically induced effects. So this would be things like stun. It also reduces the duration of detrimental physical effects. So this, the way to think about this is, not only is it a way to, by increasing your saves, you're going to have a chance to completely ignore certain effects, right, that are either physical, spell, or mental, but then increasing your save will also reduce the duration of those when they do affect you. And so if there's a check against physical for stunning, if that passes and the attack also has a damage component, then it gets applied to your armor and armor hardiness. So, alright, anyway, I can go into more of this in more depth later, but the wiki is probably going to be a better source for really in-depth analysis of the game's guts. And again, that is available at te4.org. I'll put in the link. Wait, I don't want to stun, I want a whirlwind. I'm occasionally going to refer to abilities by other names from other games. In that case, whirlwind, I'm ashamed to admit, is a WoW reference. But that's basically what the ability is. Or it could be Diablo for that matter. Really, this game is, if you had to explain this game to somebody who had only played AAA titles, you might say that it's kind of like Diablo with worse graphics but more depth. I like this a hell of a lot more than Diablo 3, that is for sure. I've got some sweet armor. Let's put this on. Actually, wait. No, my Iron Mail, I think, is better defenses. I'm going to put that back on. That's all the resistances. Resistances are something you don't want to ignore in this game. Most of the times that I've died as a berserker have been because of magic casters. I'll open a door, there'll be, you know, one or more really insane magic casters, and then I will get blazed before I can do any damage, and that's never fun. I'll take that to sell. We can have a little contest. If you can accurately predict in the comments what level my character dies at, assuming it's not in this episode, then I will name the next character after you. So all you have to do is comment and say, I think you'll die at character level such and such. And then whoever gets the closest. If people guess the same thing, then I don't know, we'll have to have some other way to determine a winner, but then I'll find out who has faith in me and who thinks I am destined to fail. I think that my strategy of focusing on defense over offense is going to pay off in the long run. I think it's easy to get more damage just by picking up a fat weapon than it is to get defense through picking up incredible armor. Ooh, here's a good piece of armor, a cap of strength. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Okay, so we're on to the next level, and I leveled up again. Alright, so let's see, get a generic point, which, do I want to put it into vitality, or do I want more weapon damage? That is a pretty big boost to get for 1 point. 25% more damage and an increase in physical power. You see, the subsequent points don't give you as much. That first point gave me 25% more weapon damage. The next one only gives me 11% more. And then the one after that, it's hard to say. But I still get double the physical power for each point. So this is a pretty efficient talent, at least for that first point. That's the kind of thought process that goes into whether or not I put a point to a given talent. Stunning blow, the cooldown is 6. The next point I put into it is going to make the duration 7, so that's going to be the last point I put in here for now. I want to put, oh actually, you know what? Let's roll this back. Yeah, I can wait. I was going to put it in here. I think I'm actually going to roll this back. Oops. Put a point of strength in here. Get that heavy armor. We'll put that point in here next. This is probably where I'm going to leave it for now. At 3. So the next points I'll start focusing more on some offense. Alright, so I just have stats. Let's put the last 2 points into Constitution, and that will be good for now. So now if I find any massive armor, I can use it, whereas before I could not. Oh, who's this? Brotalk, the Reaver. Bro! Stun him, I'm gonna pop some cooldowns. Gonna do some auto attacks. Why is this guy standing in the back, not doing anything? Gonna take it slow. Take it slow. He's only got 165 HP left. Gonna land that stunning blow. Do some auto attacks. He's got 45 HP. Boom. Killed him. And I got another level. And what did I find? Glowing file, Rod of Recall. You found a Rod of Recall. You can use it to quickly get out of your current zone and return to the world map. It's like Hearthstone, basically. Let's see, long sort of facing. I might as well grab the greens. Alright, so what I want to do is identify that other thing I picked up. So to identify, you have this scrying orb, or orb of scrying. There's 2 ways you can use it. You can use it from here by clicking on it and doing use, or by default it should have it should be on your hotbar. So there's a scryer that either lives inside this orb, or is I can communicate with her through the orb. I'm not really sure if that's ever clarified, but her name is Elisa, and she identifies things for me. So what I found was a summertide file, a small crystal file that captured sunlight during the summertide. Thank you. Let's see what it actually does. This is a light, so it's going to replace my lantern. It's going to give me big light resistance, increase my light damage dealt by 10%, big light radius, healing mod. That's really nice, actually. That thing's really good. And I get a higher light radius now, too. So this is the last room in this dungeon, I think. Gonna just pick up all the loot that's sitting around. That's green quality. Helm of, ooh, an iron helm of strength. That's better than what I have, I think. This is a leather cap of strength, +2. Iron Helm is +2 strength, but it's got more armor. And it's iron, so obviously it's better. Shield. Berserkers don't really use shields, so I don't care, but it's green, so I'll grab it anyway. Wizard hat. Elm longbow. Grab it, why not? I think I've got a fair amount of encumbrance to work with. Actually, I've only got a little bit. Once I exit the dungeon, I should be able to sell some stuff. And now I'm over encumbered, so I'm going to drop some crap. Drop some of the heavy stuff. Okay, so going down again takes me to my Dwarven Empire. Norgan thanked me for getting him safely to the Dwarven town. Got an achievement, squad mate, and I leveled up again. Now I can drop that point into weapon mastery like I had planned. I'll put that extra point into... So Berserker, the thing about this, I am going to put points into this eventually, but because in the interest of staying alive, I want to focus more on the defensive stuff at first, until I have more defense to sacrifice, if that makes sense. So at this point I'll probably put in precise strikes. This is going to increase my accuracy and crit chance, which is good. And it's just sustained, so it's always active. Or I could put it into stamina regen. I actually think I'm going to get that stamina regen this time. Pick up precise strikes next time. This is a pretty good ability too. This one will reduce all damage you take by 3%, so 15% damage reduction against every form of damage, whether it's magic, physical, whatever, is pretty solid. So I'll probably start putting points into this next as my sort of primary focus, and then secondary focus on weapons mastery, maybe some of these other things. Daunting Presence is kind of interesting. When you do more than 5% of their maximum life in a single hit, which is going to be pretty much any hit as a Berserker, any enemy that's immediately next to you will have their physical power, mind power, spell power, and everything reduced. But it will turn off if your health ball falls below a certain level. So that should be all my stat distribution for now. Save it. And so now, getting close to the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to wrap this up and then start a new one. And we'll check out some shops and go to the overworld and continue on our quest. Which, speaking of which, if I press J to bring up my journal, I can see what's on the menu. So this quest I think is unique to dwarves. So I escaped from Reknor, got my heart pounding, desire for wealth and power, blah blah blah. So Deep Bellow, which is accessible from this area. I could go there, but I think that's a higher level, so I'm going to come back to that. And then, let's see, Into the Darkness. Right, so the next thing up is going to be the Old Forest, and then Maze, Sandworm Lair, and then Daikara. By the time I get to Daikara, I should be in the low teens, level-wise. So okay, that's going to be it for now. I'm going to sign off, start up a new video, and we'll continue then. Bye for now.